reading from Watson's Body of Divinity, page 54. If God is everywhere present, then for a Christian to walk with God is not impossible. God is not only in heaven, but he is in earth too. Isaiah 66:6. Heaven is his throne where he sits. The earth is his footstool. There he stands. He is everywhere present. Therefore, we may come to walk with God. Enoch walked with God, Genesis 5:52. If God was confined to heaven, a trembling soul might think, how can I converse with God? How can I walk with him who lives in excelsis above the upper region? But if God is not confined to heaven, he is omnipresent. He is above us, yet he is about us. He is near to us, Acts 17:77. Though he be far from the assembly of the saints, he stands in the congregation of the mighty. Psalm 82:6. He is present with us. God is in every one of us, so that here on earth we may walk with God. In heaven, the saints rest with him. On earth, they walk with him. To walk with God is to walk by faith. We are said to draw nigh to God, Hebrew 10:2, and to see him, Hebrew 11:17, is seeing him who is invisible and have fellowship with him, 1 John 1:1. Our fellowship is with the Father. Thus we may take a turn with him every day by faith. It is slighting God not to walk with him. If a king be in presence, it is slighting him to neglect him and walk with a page. There is no walk in the world so sweet as to walk with God. Psalm 89:15. They shall walk in the light of thy countenance. Psalm 138:8. Yea, they shall sing in the ways of the Lord. It is like walking among beds of spices which send forth a fragrant perfume. If God is infinite in his glorious essence, learn to admire where you cannot fathom. The angels wear a veil, they cover their faces as adoring this infinite majesty. Isaiah 6:6. Elias wrapped himself in a mantle when God's glory passed by. Admire where you cannot fathom. Job 11:1. Canst thou by searching find out God? Here we see some beams of his glory. We see him in the glass of the creation. We see him in his picture. His image shines in the saints, but who can search out all his essential glory? What angel can measure these pyramids? Canst thou by searching find out God? He is infinite. We can no more search out his infinite perfections than a man upon the top of the highest mountain can reach the firmament or take a star in his hand. Oh, have God admiring thoughts. Adore where you cannot fathom. There are many mysteries in nature which we cannot fathom. Why the sea should be higher than the earth, yet not drown it. Why the Nile should overflow in summer when by the course of nature the waters are lowest. How the bones grow in the womb. Ecclesiastes 11:1. If these things pose us, how may the infinite mystery of the deity transcend our most raised intellectuals? Ask the geometrician if he can with a pair of compass measure the breadth of the earth. So unable are we to measure the infinite perfections of God. In heaven we shall see God clearly, but not fully, for he is infinite. He will communicate himself to us according to the bigness of our vessel, but not the immenseness of his nature. Adore then where you cannot fathom. If God be infinite in all places, let us not limit him. They limited the Holy One of Israel. It is limiting God to confine him within the narrow compass of our reason. Reason thinks God must go such a way to work, or the business will never be affected. This is to limit God to our reason, whereas he is infinite and his ways are past finding out. Romans 11:13. In the deliverance of the church, it is limiting God either to set him a time or to prescribe him a method for deliverance. God will deliver Zion, but he will be left to his own liberty. He will not be tied to a place, to a time, to an instrument which were to limit him, and then he should not be infinite. God will go his own way. He will pose a non-plus reason. He will work by improbabilities. He will save in such a way as we think would destroy. Now he acts like himself, like an infinite, wonder-working God.